good afternoon, Dinby Curryberry, which means good day. As some may know, my name is Philip Kemp, and as a traditional custodian of this area, known to my ancestors as Ubira, I can't tell you how privileged I am to know Karen and Jen, who wrote the lyrics for the acknowledgement of First People, Torres Strait and Australian South Sea Islanders, and those who now call Australia home. Karen and Jen have become personal friends, and our mutual exchange crosses multiple elements aside from sharing the joy of playing djembe. Importantly, it is fitting to recognise the great respect that Jen and Karen have for recognise the time and place of the traditional custodians of this whole nation, inclusive of all people who call this community home. So thank you, Jen and Karen, for the privilege of being a part of your esteemed talent and beautiful spirits.
So we've been running drumming workshops for over 15 years in the Mackay region, and people come and go from drumming. When people get excited about African drumming, they come and they might spend a couple of months with us or even a little bit longer, but then life happens and they move on. In 2016 we started running beginners workshops again. Lots of people come, and we noticed at the end of that year that there was actually people who just stuck with us, that just kept coming and coming and coming. So at the start of 2018, we actually put out an invite to these people to join a performance group. And we put a whole heap of rules around it and said if you're going to actually be in a performance group, you need to commit to the group, you have to do a lot more rehearsals and practice at home. And we formed Zenith Rhythm. These people applied, they were accepted in the group, and they've made the commitment, and here we are today.
I became a member of the Zenith Rhythms when I was introduced to drumming through Jen and Karen to Pelicans and Aurora.
And so I've got a daughter and a son both involved in it, and that's how I became involved.
Was always interested in becoming part of some kind of drumming group, and Facebook, as it does, appeared as I needed it, and I joined the beginners group. Yeah.
That would be Ricky's fault. Ricky introduced me to the group, into a beginner session, and I'd already been drumming through other means, but fell in love with the people, and more in love with the drum.
I actually was invited through another friend at the time, yeah.
I became involved with Zenith Rhythms primarily through Ricky. Ricky always loved the djembe and playing drums, and I always went along to support her. And initially I couldn't play because I had some health problems. But beginning of this year I decided I wanted to be a part of this dynamic group, and so here I am, enjoying myself.
I actually came involved through my brother Barry. He let me know about the beginners workshops that he'd already attended, so I went along with that, and it just grew from there, and Karen and Jen invited me to be part of the group.
Well, several years ago I did some beginners workshops with Karen and Jen, and then just fairly recently they started up Pelican Zen drumming, and then I went along and did rhythm workshops with them, and then became involved with the group.
I became involved with Zenith Rhythms through Ricky. That's another drummer. She told me that Jen and Karen were doing drumming at the Town Hall Park, so I went along.
I love the group because of its diversity and the fact that we all acknowledge each other as different but yet the same in our passion for drumming. I just think it's a wonderful experience that Jen and Karen are taking us on this journey, and really, really grateful and feeling blessed.
This is family. Just thank you for the opportunity to be part of the family. It's an honour.
I love being involved. We're like a big family together, and we really enjoy each other's company as well as playing together. It's definitely food for the mind and food for the soul, being part of a drumming group. Well, just the fact that, it's so much fun, and everybody needs fun in their life, so this is an enjoyable thing to do with some great people.
Well, the group itself, they amaze me. They really do. Whenever they started to play, and then when they really got into the beat, if I was younger, I'd be up dancing because that's how I felt about it.
It's such an accepting, diverse group, and it's just an awful lot of fun, and you're really present in the moment. Yeah, very meditative too. Just Karen and Jen have been amazing, and yeah, certainly taken me on a journey from a beginner that had never had a drum before and loving it. Want more?
It makes me feel proud to be an Aboriginal man, but being involved in the community, I'm heavily involved in the community, and so when we take our performance to the community and they see my face there, they, you know, like it puts smiles on people's faces because they know that I'm a community member, and they can relate to me, and come up to me and say, gee, I didn't know you did that, so it's really good.
Oh, I feel pretty good about that. I think it's excellent for me because it's a really good social group and there's no judgment, and we just get on with it, and very supportive group, always helping each other out and giving advice and taking advice. So it's been good for that. I'd say it's fantastic, and it's just a one-off thing. I never expected to do this, so yeah, it's just been brilliant.
Well, I love being a member of the group because I have that sense of belonging and sense of acceptance, and I find it very therapeutic. Oh, I just like to say that I really love being in the group. I love that we all connect, where we have all different backgrounds, we're all diverse, and we're like family.
I love being a member of the group. You can release your stress levels big time by bashing drums, you know, and doing stuff like that. And I love the camaraderie of everyone being together, and you know, good times, good friends. And it's mainly about fun, lots of fun. Big thank you to Jen and Karen, because without them we wouldn't be doing any of this. I mean, they're the instigators of it all, and yeah, it's just wonderful to be a part of this, and to be able to dress up and have great fun and great times is one of the best things out.
There's a couple of ways they can find us. You can have a look on Facebook on Mackay Drum Circle. Pelican Zen obviously is a really good central point for us. We run the workshops through Pelican Zen. We also do community gigs like Global Grooves, for instance. We're running some community drum workshops there. Or Zenith Rhythms now has a public page, so it's a way to connect to us, but preferably through Mackay Drum Circle or Pelican Zen is the best way to find us.
So if people go to our website, search for Pelican Zen, you'll find our website. There's a page there that says book us, and it talks about the fact that you can book the duo. You can book us to deliver a beginner's drum circle in your workplace, or if there's just a group of people, we can come and deliver a drum circle. We've got all the equipment for that. And also you can then book Zenith Rhythms to do a performance for you. And sometimes, particularly for larger events, people just book us to run community drum circles. So there's all different ways that people can book us to run drumming and music for them.
It's dynamic. It's also considerate and diverse. We are a really diverse group of people together. We come from a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different cultures, and we're fortunate that we have an opportunity to acknowledge our Indigenous peoples here, the people who've come here and been brought here from other places, and people who've moved here. So our community's diverse, so we're fortunate to celebrate that in our group and the music. So we try to incorporate. We're not a traditional African group. We are not African drummers, but we love the African drumming. Jennifer's got extensive 17 years of drumming experience, probably more like 20, from the African drumming background. But she's taken that and moulded it into more contemporary settings and incorporated a lot of other things.
Whilst our group formed because we all have a love of the djembe drum, and we do play the African drum, we are a melting pot of different music styles. We also want to incorporate drumming, singing and dance in our performance as time goes by, and really we'll just expand our style from there.